Do you struggle with creating content for your coaching business or your fitness business? Struggle with what to say, thinking of new ideas, new concepts, how to get this across to your clients, and how to get them engaging with you? Well, I filmed a live training talking about how to create content for your ideal customer, to attract them to your business, ways to create content, and all the other things you can do to make sure your social media is talking to your ideal client to bring them into your business. To get the most out of this, you'll need a free tool, which you can get from my website called the Content Factory. Just go to buildcoaching.co.uk/factory and you can get it there. So go and get that now and then come back and watch the video and you'll get much more of that training. So without further ado, let's get into the training. Okay, so what we're talking about today is Content Factory, but also how to attract your ideal clients. Because there's no point putting out loads of content if the people you want to get it are not getting it, and the people you want to attract are not seeing what you're talking about, or you're saying the wrong thing. So today's training, we're just going to go through some techniques on content creation. We're going to go through in a little bit the Content Factory spreadsheet so you can see how that works. And I'm going to talk a little bit about things like lead magnets, how to do those properly, and also how you should be speaking in your content. There is, like I said, if you've got any questions, put it in the chat. I'll answer them as we go, and then we will just see where we get to. Okay, so major problems we've got with content is that there's a massive pressure to post every day. Everyone will say, oh, you've got to post 2-3 times a day. People are talking about now to get noticed. And that's a lot of pressure when we're coaching people and we're trying to run a business and we're trying to have family lives and all that sort of stuff. So there's a big pressure on us to post, which can mean that we're stuck for ideas a lot of the time. And we just like, what do I post today? I've got no idea what to post. I posted this yesterday. I posted that the day before, and now I've got no ideas left. So we get stuck for ideas and it's like, and now I've got to post. What am I going to do? And so what we do is we spend all day on our content and do nothing else. So we put out this post, we spend like 45 an hour on a bit of content. And what happens? No one likes it. No one engages with it. Very annoying. Why did you even bother? So what would we like? Oh, actually, before we go through that, who's in that situation? Who's had that situation? Yeah. Hands up, thumbs up. Yeah. What's your biggest frustrations, annoyances with creating content? Let's get that on the board straight away so that we can discuss that as we go as well. Put it into the chat, and then if I haven't got something to address that, then I can actually do something in a bit. Where's my chat stuff? Just move that down there. And the most annoying thing is you spend a bit of time on a bit of content and you think, yeah, this is going to go viral. This is awesome. And absolutely no one likes it. But you spend 1 minute just posting a picture of you with your dog and then like 30,000 likes straight away. What's that all about? Okay. So timing to post. Okay. Well, we'll go through that. Then I've got the problems of turning into this catchy hooks that sound generic. Okay, cool. So we're going to discuss that as well. Great. Okay. Anything else? Just chuck in the chat. Right. So what do we want? Well, first of all, we want our content to attract new clients. No point posting if no one comes into our business. We want to start more conversations with people. We want people to say, hey, I'm interested in your coaching. And then we're going to have a conversation with them about coming to work with us, hopefully in our coaching. And we want to save time because we don't want to be creating content all day because we've got clients to coach, we've got a business to run, and we've got things like events to plan and all these other things. And content creation should be a small amount of your time and it should be reaching a lot of people. That's the ideal situation. Okay. Right. So main mistakes people make content creation is this new ideas overload. Now, a lot of the time people say, but I posted this, this, and this. Now, what do I post today? And it's this constant thought that you've got to be creating new stuff every single day. And you really don't have to do that. I don't know if you've seen this with people you might follow, big accounts you might follow, but they repost a lot of their stuff every sort of 4 to 6 months because every 4 to 6 months you have new followers come in, you have people who haven't seen your content, they might not have seen it the first time round, or it's relevant for something else that has come up, such as like Christmas or Easter, that sort of thing. So reposting is not a problem to do that. When a lot of people say, "Oh, but have people not seen this before?" I've watched things like Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad 5 or 6 times. It's still good every time I watch it. So you shouldn't be thinking, once I've created that bit of content, that's it. I could never post that again. You should always be thinking about, is this relevant to something that's happened today? And why not post it again? It's still relevant. It's still going to get your message across. And the other thing is, you don't need to be constantly thinking about new concepts. And if you're working with me on Build, you'll know this, that we have 3 sort of core problems or 4 sometimes, which clients have, and we have 3 or 4 solutions. The content you post should be based around that, and also some personal stuff, which we'll come on to in a minute. But if you have these 3 core problems, these 3 real massive issues that your clients are facing, you should be talking around that topic all the time and always circling back to it. And the reason for that is we want consistency, and we want continuity, that people are seeing that we're always talking about the same message. If someone's always flitting, and you'll see this with people who do trends, and they go, "Oh yeah, I'll do this trend today and do this trend today," jumping on bandwagons like Pride, that sort of thing. They're never clear on what they're talking about. So you don't identify them with them, that you just know, "Oh, that's someone who just jumps on every bandwagon." So we want to make sure that we're not trying to overload ourselves with new ideas, and being very clear about our concepts and what we're talking about and the problems we solve. The other problem, I think someone said it already, Ben, generic content. So we're stuck on what to post. And so I'll just bash out a calorie deficit thing. I'll just post a recipe, that sort of thing. It doesn't get any attention, doesn't get any traction. And the problem with that is, obviously, if you're posting something and no one's engaging with it, it's telling Instagram or Facebook that maybe your content isn't relevant to the people that you want it to be relevant to. And so main issue with that is that then your reach goes down, which is what we don't want. So we want to stop posting generic content if we can help it. And the other thing, which I know a few of you watching this will be, I've picked you up on, is no call to action. You post some really good stuff, and then you don't ask people to work with you. It's something which is very, very common, and something which we're going to address later on. Okay, just anything else any other things that you can think of which you struggle with at the moment? If you pop them in the chat down there, and while you're doing that, make your best fate for a screenshot, which we're going to take in a second. Where is it? Okay, cool. Excellent. Right, so next one. Oh, yes, I forgot. People are always teaching. And if you are always posting stuff which is helpful, and as coaches, we want to be helpful. We want to help people to get a result. That's what we do. That's why we coach. But if you're always teaching, if you're always telling people this is what you should be doing, and you're never asking people to actually work with you, you become a teacher. And unfortunately, teachers don't get paid a lot. They're just regarded as people who are good to go to for information. And an example of this, if you look at, say, like Brad Schoenfeld, those sorts of people who post all the really good evidence-based content about training, you know that they're really knowledgeable about that. But would you go to them for coaching? Probably not, because they're just fountain of knowledge. They haven't demonstrated that they can actually get a result. So we want to be teaching, yes, we want to be helping people, but we also need to be shown that we can get results, that we're a good person, we're a nice person, and also that you can come and work with me. You can actually come and do something with me. Okay, makes sense so far? Thumbs up if it is. Cool. Right, so what I want you to think about is content personas. And this is how you want to present yourself to people who you're talking to. And there's 4 main content personas that we want to be thinking about. The friend, someone you can relate to, someone who is likable and personable. The fixer, someone who is a teacher, someone who is going to tell you how to get things done and how to solve a problem. The pimp, because the pimp is someone who showcases what they've got and is always pimping out their stuff so people can see it. And the godfather, because the godfather makes offers that people can't refuse. Yeah. Okay, so the way this works is I've got a nice little diagram here. Hopefully you can all see that, all the little pictures there. And if we think about the areas that these come into, so the friend up at the top here, that is a connection. That's our personal side of our business. That is things that we want to talk about, say pictures of our family. We want to show stuff that we're doing at work. So when I just took a snapshot now of all of us talking together, that's going to be a connection side of things. That's going to be me showing my work, how I work with clients. So we want to show what sort of a person we are, because no one wants to work with a robot. Okay? So we're talking about things like family, our work, and our social. Those are the three areas of our life, isn't it? Always with family, always at work, or always at social. And social would be, say, if you're going out to events, attending a seminar, going out for bonfire night, that sort of thing. It doesn't sell you any coaching. It doesn't sell your product to anybody. It doesn't show people you're a good coach, but it shows people you are a good person, a genuine person who doesn't just spend all their life working. Because, okay, those people exist, but do we really want to work with those people? We want to be able to relate to someone we work with. Okay? Then if we think about let's go over to the right here, we go to the fixer. Now the fixer is always teaching. So notice that Winston Wolfe never does anything. When he's fixing the problem, he doesn't say, right, I'll get in the car and I'll clean up the blood with my bare hands. He tells other people how to do that. So he's not the guy who does stuff for you, but he'll show you how it gets done, and you've got to go off and do it. So the teacher tells you what to do, why to do it, and how to do it. Yeah. Remember the conversation with Winston Wolfe when he's having the coffee in the kitchen and he's telling you do this, you do this. We need to get the blankets to line the interior of the car. It's all direction. It's all telling people what to do, but he's not doing it himself. Yeah. Let's go over to the proof over here, which is the pimp. Now, this would be showcasing your skills, showcasing your results. So we've got case studies, or we've got testimonials. So crap writing. And we've got conversations. So by conversations, when you grab a screenshot of your client who said, hey, I've lost 30 pounds this week. And you go, great, let me just grab that in a screenshot so I can post it on my socials to show what a great coach I am. Testimonials, pretty obvious. And case studies, these are slightly different from testimonials. It's where you might have like a mini book or something like that, where you walk through how you did something with somebody. So rather than just going, hey, here's John who lost 30 kilos before and after, you walk through the problems that John had, what we did to overcome it, and the results he had at the end, and how his life changed, all that sort of stuff. So it's a more expansive story. And then we have the Godfather who makes offers people can't refuse. So we've got a trial, which is your lead magnet, or might be your 7-day challenge. So key thing coming up for December now when we're filming this is you might want to run like a 7 to 10-day challenge leading up to January, so that people say, well, actually, I'm going to have a sample of what your coaching is like before we actually get down to it. That's something you might want to do. Not saying you have to do it. Then we have a coach. So come and work with me. So actually, my product is open. My coaching is open. Come and work with me. So again, in December, you might want to say what we talked about on the last training. December's coming up, January's coming up. Do you want to wait till January to pick yourself up off the floor? Why don't you come and work with me at the end of December so that we can get you into that rhythm of training and give you that sort of spike before you take a few days off in December, and then we pick up again in January. So you might want to invite people to coach with you in December for that reason. And then we have an event. So an event would be like an in-person event, like a gym day, or an event like this, which is obviously a training coaching day or coaching event. Okay. And you need to have a division of all of these in your content, because if we're always talking about connection, we're just some sort of blogger. If we're always talking about what to do and how to do it, we're just going to be a teacher. If we're always making offers, we're a bit of a spam bot. And if we're always pimping our stuff, we're a bit of a bragger, and no one likes a bragger. Okay, everyone clear so far? Any questions on that? Okay, cool. Right. The other thing I want you to think about is you want to become the specialist. This is an old movie. You might not have seen it, but it's about a specialist bomb guy who can put bombs in like teacups and stuff like that. So he can blow up someone having a cup of coffee, but the person next to him doesn't die. The idea is we want to be seen as a specialist in our area. If we're not, and we're seen as a generalist, then we don't stand out from the crowd. And that's why our content has to be specialized towards a certain person. And how we do that is if we think about these two sides of the, just 2 seconds. So, so I couldn't see it on my screen just then. So we think about these two sides of the equation here. We're showing that we know we can teach people what to do, and also we're showing that they've actually done it. So that is proving our specialism in the area. So that's really important to get those, because without those things, people aren't going to know that you can actually solve their problem. Then if they know that you can solve their problem, they need to like you. And if they like you and know you, they might trust you to actually take up one of your offers. So we'll talk about knowing, liking, and trusting, 3 elements that you need to have in place. Okay. Everything okay so far? Any questions? Pat, how to choose good titles? Clickbait, does it pay to add topics, or does music on reels help with reach? I think this trending audio thing, it can help maybe, but it depends if people who are watching that sort of audio are also people who are your target audience. So I'm not sure. I'm not convinced on the trending audio thing. I think it does help maybe push it a little bit higher because if it's trending, it might get shown to more people. But if it actually engages with those people, if they swipe off straight away, it might send the opposite signal. So I'm not too sure about the trending music. I think no one really knows for sure about that one. How to choose good titles. We're going to do a little bit of that in a minute. Okay. All right, this is my note to swap over my screen share so that I've got to go to Google Sheets, and we're going to work on the content factory. So give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to stop that and share the next one. Share screen. There we are. Okay, let me just expand this out. Okay, everyone see that okay? If you can't see it, just chuck a note in the chat that you can't see it. Good. Right, that's down there. If you're on your phone, this might be very tiny, so apologies for that. Just gonna move this up 2 seconds. Okay. Right, so what we're going to work on is just the content factory. So this is a free download that I've got, which anybody can get and use to help develop their content. But it's also something I encourage all clients to fill in. Now, I say 100 here. If you get 100, that's brilliant. The idea over time is that the more you work with people, the more that you'll get in tune with what their problems are, and you'll come back to this and edit it. So just because you've got 100 doesn't mean you can't edit it. As you get right into your niche, there'll be things that pop up which are super, super niche things. You need to go back into the content factory and edit your problems out. Because once you do that and you continually do that, you'll come up with content that speaks directly exactly to that person. So it's important to get, I would say, about 30 to 50 in to start with. And as you start working with clients, update it, improve it. I come back to mine probably once every 3 to 4 weeks as I work with more coaches and find out more problems. So if I find a problem that I haven't got on, I'll come back and create some content around it straight away. And it helps keep me current. It helps get me engaged with my clients. So let's do some content creation. A problem from everybody watching that your client faces. Now, if you've done this before, you'll have a bit of a cheat here because you'll probably have your sheet to hand. So if you want to put in the chat a problem that your clients face, and we're going to run through the whole process of creating content, maybe not for all of them, but we'll get as many done as we possibly can. So chuck a problem that your client faces in there, and we'll work through it. Okay. Then goes AWOL with their food tracking on weekends. No time to train. Yeah. Good, Pat. Come on, Raquel, you must have loads of these. Right, let's start with Ben's one to start with, and we'll put the others up. Okay, so we've got AWOL with their food tracking on weekends. Right, so the problem is, and you've got to think about how they would talk to you. So it's not they need to be consistent with their diet. It's if you ask them, what would they say to you? So for Ben's, it's going to be, I forget to track on weekends. You know, I'm good in the week, but I don't track on the weekend. Okay, and you need to put their language in there so that you can speak directly to them. Right. So let's check this. So I'm good with my food all week, but go off plan and don't track on weekends. Okay. Right. What's the next one? Raquel, not knowing what to eat, when to eat, or how to eat, not knowing how to train, not understanding their body and hormones. Okay. So come back to me in a second, Raquel. How would they talk to you? How would they say this to you? What would they say? Oh, I don't understand how my body works. I don't understand how does insulin affect me? How does estrogen affect me? That sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Pat, no time to train. I don't have time to train. I'm too busy. Okay, that's a problem. And so let's pick one of those, Raquel. I'm not sure. Oh, let's try again. I'm not sure what to do in the gym. I want to get stronger. Would that be accurate? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So we got 3 to go with. If we put some more in a second. So once you've got all your problems in there, you go to the content builder, and what this does is it expands out the problem, because it's all very well and good saying, yeah, well, I know that my clients don't know how to train. How are we going to solve that? So let's go with Ben's problem at the beginning. So I'm good with my food all week, but I go off plan and I don't track on weekend. Okay. So first of all, we've got to think about the goal, because that's going to help us write the title. So the goal here might be to lose weight or get in shape, because some people say get in shape rather than lose weight, don't they? Okay. Get in shape. Build muscle. Okay. Okay. So what we first of all want to do, we want to get into the mindset of the people who are giving us these problems. Okay. So what do people think? Why do they think that they go off plan on the weekend? What's their issue? Why do they think they do that?
Well, they reward themselves for a good week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they reward themselves for a good week. Yeah, feel free to, if you want to unmute for a second, and we'll have a discussion about it. So they want to reward themselves for the weekend. Yeah, they've been good all week. What about do they think about their calories on the weekends? You know, does it not matter for the week?
Yeah.
Or
They don't
is
count
it,
on the weekend.
yeah, or is it the thing that they don't want to feel restricted with their
What if
with their weekend, because with
What
their
if they
kids?
cut too much on the week and then they get all of the anxiety and they stuff their face in the weekend because they have more time to relax and to think about food?
Yeah, so they're thinking about cheat days, and they're thinking about, you know, I've done really well on the weekend. I've restricted myself so much on the week. Yeah, and this is what a lot of people do, especially when they're dieting. They like restrict themselves right down in the week, and then so they can have their cheat day on the weekend. Okay, right. So what do people think? I need a reward on the weekend, perhaps, or they don't know how to track on weekends, as it's all like, you know, eating out or that sort of thing. So it's all off plan food. Yeah. Could be either one of those. So mistakes, the things that they do, and this is what we're gonna make them aware of these mistakes when we're obviously doing our content. So the things that they do, they have cheat days. cheat days, which are epic. My cheat days when I was bodybuilding, I used to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and eat a whole box of Rice Krispies, 750 grams mint, and eat all the way through the day. And I used to work on the doors on the evening, so that counted as a whole day, even if it was 2 in the morning. So I have a full 24 hours of eating. Yeah. So they have cheat days which are epic. They don't want to track when with kids. Okay. Now this may or may not be a mistake because we get this, that we don't want to be always tracking all the time. But we need to have some sort of mindset about, I'm being aware of my food. Okay. So we don't want to be overbearing and saying, yes, you must track 24/7, but we don't want people to go massively off plan. So sometimes as coaches, we need to have this. And obviously this can also work in their mindset. I have to track all the time, otherwise I'm not doing it right. And so they beat themselves up and self-sabotage on the weekend. So we've all seen that happen as well. Yeah. So why it's a mistake? They overeat massively on the weekend and undo the deficit. We don't want to say undo the good work, but we might talk that way in their language to them because that's how they're going to think. So although we don't want to talk about it's good work, it's bad work, that's how they think. So we might want to talk about, you feel as though you've undone all the good work, but we don't want to say you've undone all the good work. See the difference? Yeah. So they overeat massively on the weekend and undo the deficit they've created. Okay. Then they can't stop themselves.
Yeah, a cheat meal goes for a cheat day becomes a cheat weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
I'll
yeah.
start again Monday. Monday was busy. I'll start Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, it's Wednesday now. Let's start Monday. Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about all the mistakes they've done. The method, what they should do. Now, this is you advising as a coach. This is you giving them the how, the what, and the why. So what they should do as a coach. Okay. So what they can do, there's a few options here. They can bank calories and be aware of the banking of calories so that they know that if they've consciously reduced their calorie intake Monday to Friday, be aware of what that calorie intake that they've reduced is on the weekend so that they're not redressing the deficit. That's one possible way of doing it. But obviously that also then can create the cheat meal thing in people's minds. So it's important that you know what your client is doing and their mindset before we suggest stuff like that. So we could bank calories. What's some other options? Feel free to unmute. Say one. This is contribution time. So if you don't say anything,
Fighting after. So doing the same by the week after.
Is that
Fighting the week after.
the week after?
Yeah. So they got. So they fix the weekend.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No. Write it down. I didn't understand
Okay.
Spanglish.
Well, make more intelligent choices during the.
Yeah. Be mindful about food. So, okay, we're not going to say don't have ice cream, but don't have 5 ice creams. Yeah. Enjoy yourself, but don't over enjoy yourself. Yeah. Be mindful about food, not indulgent. You know, but all have control, make choices. Have control, make choices rather than give in. That sort of stuff. Did you post what you're saying, Raquel? I didn't hear it over the speakers before. Yeah. Okay. High and low calorie days. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. High and low calorie days, spread them out in the week. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Excellent. Well, I think the chat's maybe on a delay. Okay. So, what are we doing? So once we've got all that, once we've got that, that sequence of events and what they think and what they do, we can then think about the content title. Now, it doesn't have to be clickbait, and people sometimes don't like clickbait stuff, but it needs to be intriguing enough for people to go, "Oh, okay, that's about me." So we want to think about what they're thinking in their mind. Okay, so we could say how to stop binging on the weekend, for example. Any other titles? Any ideas? Oh yeah, Raquel, don't get anxious if you have a bad day. Be conscious about your choices the day afterwards. Nothing gets ruined just one bad day. Yeah, exactly. So I get that. So I didn't come through on the microphone. Sorry about that. So we could say how to stop binging on the weekend. You know, why your cheat day. Oh, let's have a look. So why your cheat days are making you fat. For example, if they're always going off on cheat days. Now this will be relevant if, say, people talk to you, say, yeah, I have a cheat day on the weekend. So only if they feed that to you, do you then respond with that sort of language. In NLP, there's a technique called active listening. By when people say stuff to you, you almost repeat back to them what they've said to confirm. And we can do this with content as well. So things that people fill in on their application form, on their check-in forms, on their WhatsApps, make a note of all the language they're using, and then feed that back in the content. Okay. So rewarding yourself. So eating with your kids doesn't have to make you binge. For example, couple of different titles. I mean, this would be like the header on an Instagram post. So you know the first two lines that you see when you scroll and you see an Instagram post. That's what you put in there. So it has to be about a line to 2 lines long. Otherwise, it's going to get blocked off. The idea is we want people to see the caption and then click to read more. Okay, so it can be clickbaity as long as you explain yourself straight afterwards. Okay.
Tom, can I ask something?
Yeah.
So when that bit there, when you do that header bit, it's when you go into the writing is where you go more. That's where you go niche.
Yeah.
I always struggle with is like, I'm like looking at things like that and I'm like, how do I try and get in the title that I'm aiming at guys of whatever? So it always seems to come out of like, well, that could just be anybody. And that's the bit I really struggle with. I can do it in content, the written bit. It's like making it so that doesn't just sound like, well, that could be anybody. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. So an example would be if you're aiming at, say, let's say you're aiming at, say, like 30-year-old men. Yeah. What do 30-year-old men like to do? They might like to watch the football. They might like to go to the pub with their mates.
After work.
They might like to go and watch football with their kids, as in their kids are playing. So we don't have to say this is for 30-year-old men who want to lose weight, but we can talk about if you're stood at the sideline watching your kids playing football, here's how to stop snacking when you're doing that.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And you would have that as your headline.
Yeah. So it has to. Yeah. So we're talking about very niche stuff. So if you're getting a lot of people who say, I'm taking my kids to watch football and I snack while I'm there, you could create a thing about some good snacks to have while you're watching your kids play football. Now, that doesn't mean you're talking to men, because you haven't said this is for men. Because women might pick up on it as well, and they might be around your niche anyway. But the fact that you're gonna pick up people who have that problem, and if you're getting that repeatedly coming back to you from your clients, that's what you can feed into your content. So your content becomes very niche then, and it doesn't look niche really when you're looking at it, because you're not saying this is for men over 30 who want to lose weight, blah 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 blah. But you're talking about stuff that they do. So you're meeting them where they are and the activities that they're doing, which is causing them upset.
Yeah.
For example, if you've got someone who is, I work with a lot of clients who have business meetings, and what they do is they try and squish their workouts in between business meetings. So I did a post. It was about how to stop your business meetings overriding your training and making you into purely human. And it was directed to those people who are like, what they do is they allow their meeting to overrun to 15 minutes, and then they're late against the gym, and then they've got to leave early. because they got to get to another meeting. So the post was all about allocating in their diary 20 minutes each time of their workout, so they had time to finish their meeting. Even if it overran, they could get to the gym, train, and they still got an overrun period at the end. I wasn't saying this is for men who own their own business, who want to lose weight and get muscle, but it was the exact problem they were facing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. So, Pat, you mean on the video or picture in the title or the writing under the post? Yeah. So I think I just answered that a little bit just then. Is that in the video you might talk about the problem, and in the content, the writing underneath, you might want to have the title there and continue the discussion in the caption. I mean, you might even have a video just with a guy, going back to the one we said about Ben, the guy stood on the sidelines with football, watching their kids play. And the caption is about how to stop getting fat when you're watching your kids play football. Yeah. So it don't have to follow a strict rule about, oh, it must be this much text or this much, this, that, the other. You just think about what's the problem they're facing. This key problem. I'm good with my food a week, but I go off plan and track on the weekend. That could be a picture of a KFC bucket. Is this your weekend? And then go into it. Because if someone is going off to KFC on the weekend and that's how they ruin their diet, that's going to meet them exactly where they are. They're like, yeah, that's me. I smash KFC on the weekend and I would like to stop doing that. Does it all make sense to everybody? Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Again, it's going to be space specific to the problems. Okay. Let's do one more because we've got about 5 minutes and then I've got a few more bits to do in the last bit. So I don't have time to train. I'm too busy. So this is Pat's one, isn't it? So the goal is for her niche is women to get stronger, isn't it? To get stronger and be confident. Yeah. And the reason we put the goal in is if we're talking about in the copy, if you're looking to do this, then this is why it's getting in your way. So we need to know what the goal is. So we know what they're trying to do, what's in their way. So what people think. So with Pat, can you unmute? It might not let you unmute if you're in your car. So what they think about when they're thinking about, I don't have time to train, I'm too busy. Their thought is, I've got too much on. There's no time in my schedule. Or they might think a workout has to be an hour. So there's all these different things. It's not just I haven't got time in my schedule. What they perceive the workout to be, what they think they should be doing. So they might think a workout has to be 60 minutes, plus cardio. Because that's what, everyone's talking about on the internet, isn't it? Do your weights, do your cardio. That's how you get strong and lean. So a workout, they might think a workout has to be 60 minutes plus cardio. They might think that let's just undo that. Sorry, undo. Right, let's go underneath that. A workout has to be 60 minutes plus cardio. That they need to go to the gym. Go to the gym to train. They don't think maybe about doing something at home if they are massively busy. Anything else, Pat, from your clients?
I put in the chat. I put it in the chat.
Oh, well, yeah. So we're on to the methods here. Okay, so work has to be 60 minutes plus cardio. Then they need to go to the gym to train. Okay, so that's what they're thinking. And because of that, what they do is, even if they have, excuse me, even if they have like 45 minutes spare, they waste it because not worth going to gym. Ben, does that be fair, I think? So
Sorry.
because
Yeah.
their perception is that oh, I've only got half an hour. It's no point. I'll just sit and scroll Facebook, or I'll go and watch Netflix or whatever else. I haven't got time in my day to go and do it. Okay. So why it's a mistake? Because they are resigning to not so much laziness, but lack of effort, or resigning to being beaten by their schedule. The other thing here is they probably have got time in their day if they are doing things like wasting time on Facebook, or procrastinating, that sort of stuff. So there is that little bit as well. They probably have got time in their day, or they just don't see it because their day's filled up with stuff that's meaningless, or that can be rescheduled or combined. So what should they do? Do some bite-sized workouts, which is what me and Pat are working on with her coaching. So it's 30 to 45 minutes, using simple weights. So they're getting the job done in a time frame which is suitable to their schedule. Obviously, the other good thing about this is if they're doing that, then they're going to start making the time to do those things. So all of a sudden, their mindset starts to shift. So the content titles could be no time to train. Try this. Easy. We don't have to say, hey, women, have you got a really busy schedule? We've got no time to train. We just have to meet them where they are. No time to train, which is meeting them where they are. Try this. We could just say, this bite-sized workout. But effective workout. Yeah. Quite an easy one. And that would lead into like a lead magnet. So that get my free workout, that sort of thing. Okay. Yeah. And also the other thing is if you're not doing a lead magnet, like Pat said there, you could talk about giant sets. So giant sets for building strength in 30 minutes. Yeah. So it could either be a call to action, or it could be, here's some information. Yeah. With a call to action as well. Could do
Tom,
both.
sorry to interrupt. I need to go, guys. I need to go to work.
That's fine.
Thanks for this. We'll catch up later today.
Yeah, I'll see you later on, mate.
Bye, guys.
Cheers. Okay, makes sense. Everyone okay with that one? Yeah, cool. Okay, so once we've got all that listed out there, and once you've got all this stuff, you'll start to pick up on a lot of different things you can talk about. Sometimes you'll have, say for example, how much cardio you should be doing. You've got lots of different things you can talk about. You've got lots of different topics you can go reels, you can go to post. It depends on how much you want to dig into why it's a mistake and the mistakes that they do. That's what's going to give you the content. Okay, on this thing, I've also got some ideas for content if you're feeling a little bit, I don't know what to write. And there's also a planner template there, so you can plan out your content if you want to do that. Okay, just going to go back to the other thing now. Let's just go back. Just going to share my screen again. Where is it? There we are. Okay, so a quick one on how to create these plans. We've got all the text, we've got all that stuff we want to say. Now, how are we going to say it? How are we going to put that into a post? Now, and this will obviously differ from person to person, but there's a rough plan here which we can use. So the first thing I want to talk about is the promise or the problem. So this is the hook. People talk about the hook to capture the interest. So what we had before was, pick up one of the topics. We had, a workout has to be 60 minutes or more. So the problem is no time to train. Okay. So the light bulb, this is where we're going to give them a little bit of information, something to put this light bulb in their head, so to speak. So the light bulb is that you can get a lot done in 30 minutes. You know, people often waste time talking, which takes their workout to 60 minutes. You know, we all know people who do that. Come in, 3 exercises, 10 reps, 1 set, and the rest of the time is talking. You know, so we talk about like increasing focus to get the job done. And so just a few little bullet points about what you're going to talk about, what you're going to say. And this can form the basis of reels. It can form the basis of a static post. It can be a mini book. If you're doing a mini book, you've got probably more information you can put in. If you've got a reel, you've probably got 1 or 2 things you want to say because it's only like 30 to 60 seconds. If you're writing a post out, you potentially got a little bit more time there. And of course, you can write a long caption in a reel if you want to. The other thing with reels, what a lot of people are doing at the moment is that they're saying, here's 3 tips to help you do whatever it is. And you'll say the first one in the reel and say, see below or see caption for the rest. So it becomes like a 15, 20-second reel rather than trying to get it all out in one reel. So that's something you might want to do if you want to do shorter reels. So the action is what they should do. So if we're talking about Pat's one, you know, we could talk about giant sets to boost output. Okay. We don't want to have too many things here. It could be 1 or 2 things. Giant sets to boost output. We could have, what's the other one Pat talked about? Like bite-sized workouts. Okay. And the next steps is going to be the call to action. So what you want them to do after this. If it's in a reel, normally I don't say the call to action in the reel. I normally put it in the comments. So, but the call to action is going to be what you want them to do. Download like lead magnet, or it might be watch this video, or it might be DM me for more details. If we're talking about like our program, that sort of thing. Okay. So we want to have these sort of 4 elements. We have the hook. What's the problem they're facing, or the promise we're going to give them. So that way that would be was, have you got no time to train? Do this instead. That's the problem. Or we've got 30-minute workout to get you stronger. That's the promise. So it's coming at it from either way. And those can be 2 different bits of content if you want to do the same thing twice. I'll put a few examples of there as to what you might say. If you want the slides in this, just ask me afterwards and I'll send it to you. Okay. Any questions on that so far? I've just got a little quick one on lead magnets and then we are finished. Just going to check the chat. 2 seconds. Oh yeah, that's fine, Pat. That's no problem. Okay, fine. So just a quick one. I know I've talked to a few people in the mentoring about lead magnets and the proper way to do it. Because what I see a lot of the time is people going, do you want a calorie calculator? You know, or do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? Do you want a free workout plan? It's okay, because if someone does want a free workout plan, they might get it. But you've not created the need for it there. You've not created the need to get the thing. Okay, so if they're not convinced of the need for it, they won't get it. So what we want to do with lead magnets is there's two types of way we can frame this. The first way is that the lead magnet is the first step in getting the problem solved. Okay, so this could be, the lead magnet could be, for example, if you have a workout plan, this could be, here's 3 things you could do for legs to grow your legs. But that's not going to solve the problem of, I'll see you later, Cal. That's not going to solve the problem of getting massive legs or developing your whole body. It's part of the problem. It's the first step. You know? Or it might be a calorie calculator. The first step to losing body fat is knowing the calories that you need. So use the calorie calculator. That's all for me in my coaching, one of the first steps to knowing what we need to fix in the business is doing the fitness business MOT. So we find out what the problem is, and then we go on to solve it. Okay. So that's one way of coming at it. This is the first step. I'll give you this step for free. Then if you want more, come and work with me. The other way to come at it is it's part of the bigger problem. So we're solving part of the bigger problem. And the only way I could sort of think about analogizing this was with Guess Who. When in Guess Who, you're putting down the flip things there. You don't solve the problem by finding out, does that guy have a mustache? That's just getting closer to the solution. So the questions are part of the solution. So the lead magnet might be part of this big solution. So we can frame it that way. Okay. So for example, the content factory, that's one part of solving the big issue about your coaching. But having good content alone is not going to solve the problem. Okay. Just quickly, I've put some apps that you might want to have a look at to help with the content. The one I use a lot of is Descript. That is something I use for my captions, and all the reels you see that I do on Instagram, I do with Descript. It's very easy to use. What you do is just load a video in. So you load the video in, it comes up here, and then all the words that come on the side here, and you can create captions from that. You can create like the conversation. And editing the captions is really easy, and editing the video is really easy. So if we wanted to, I don't know if you can see that here, but if we wanted to edit out, because you need to, from the video, all we do is highlight that text, delete it, and down here, it will delete, down here where it says, because you need to, it will delete that bit of video. So you can edit your video really, really quickly. And I used to use Final Cut Pro and like squish things and everything else, but that can be fiddly. Whereas with Descript, because it's AI powered, it's a lot more intuitive. So if you cut out the words, it will cut out the video as well. Let's just move out there. It will give you the transcripts here, so you can edit that to say if you're doing a podcast or something like that. And this is how I do the podcast with Dan. If we film the podcast and then it gives me the transcripts, and I export that transcript so it comes out into the transcripts on the website. So it's quite a good little bit of software. It's about, I think, 25 quid a month for the pro version, which is what I have, but I use it every day. So for videos, it's brilliant. The other thing I've used for videos is Canva. The podcast videos you see at the moment, they've been done in Canva, because what I used to film in Zoom and then put the videos across. So this is two copies of the same video. And if you can imagine, Dan's here, and on this one, I'm here, and I've just cropped it to fit in the canvas thing there. And then I've added the titles and stuff here. So you can create a nice looking video with a bit of like stuff on the side very easily. You can just drop the video in there. The only issue here is it's not really great for editing the video. So if you've got the video finished, it's good to put it in, but it's not very good for editing like Descript would be. But you can make a video look quite nice by doing this, like a reel. And I use Canva for all my like mini books and posts and stuff like that. Dead easy. I think Canva's like 10 quid a month, something like that. It's not expensive. And obviously John uses Canva. So if you've got any issues with using it, he can help you with that as well. The other thing I've used a lot of is Video Leap. And I use that for when I'm doing more complex videos. So the when it's leg day video I did, which had lots of like jumps and everything else, I use Video Leap for that, because it's very easy to jump and edit and zoom in and mask and all that other stuff. That's on my phone. So videos you see like that, always done on my phone. And then one final one you might want to look at is this Opus Clip. This clip is AI generated captions. And I've got one I'll be able to show you that I did. Just close this. I've got one saved. I'll be able to show you. 2 seconds. I think it's on here. It's over there. Can you see that one? Yeah. So on this one, I loaded a 7-minute video into it, and it basically took the video and clipped it into it. So that one edits it yourself, and it also creates a little bit of transcript and what the video is about. So if you want quick edits, this does it for you. And I believe you can actually edit the clip, and yeah, you can put stuff in there if you want to. So there's a whole lot of things you can do there. There is a free version here, which is what I'm using at the moment. I think that's about $19 a month, something like that. But I don't use that for my editing at the moment. I just, if every now and again I look to that to see what sort of edits I could make. It helps me with that.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people do use that, and it's very quick and it's very intuitive. So if you wanted to get like a load of clips out fast, it's a good option to do that. Okay, thanks for watching. We did go into some Q&As after that, but it's very specific, so I'm not going to show that recording. I hope you got some good information there and some good ideas for your own content. Feel free to message me if you have any questions, and also if you have any inquiries about coaching and working with me, we can talk about that as well. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it's a long, about an hour or so training, but hopefully you've got some good information there which you can implement straight away in your business. See you next time.